The forest of today is not the forest of yesterday. Human civilization creates consequences that we can see all around us in the seemingly wild forest, in the form of invasive plants. Most of the brush that we see here are invasive. Invasives generally come from foreign lands, imported here as part of commerce, and then they seed and escape into the wild, where they have advantages over the native plants. Animals are adapted to eat native plants. Their nutritional needs are geared towards them. When local wildlife eats invasives, it's more like junk food for them, and their numbers and diversity take a hit. There's feedback loops at work here. One factor is the deer. They're overpopulated, and thus overbrowse the native brush, to the point where there's practically none left. So the invasives take over, and the health of the forest ecology is diminished. There's not as much wildlife when the brush is so dominated by invasives. Another factor is that in the 19th century, much of this country was deforested to make way for family farms. A lot of the forests that we see today are actually abandoned farms. When humans cultivate the soil to make crops, they destroy the seed memory. And when the land reverts to the wild, it doesn't come back the same way. So the question becomes, what can we do about it? As the caretaker of this nature preserve, and an anal retentive freak, I decided to try ripping them out of here. This is multiflora rose, a rose in name only. It's got really nasty thorns. And it was developed as natural barbed wire. Then it escapes out here, and it's one of the primary invasives. I don't let this get anywhere near any of the trails because you're going to bleed if you get caught by it. This is privet. People use it all the time in their yards as a hedge. Out here, it's everywhere, and it's an invasive. Comes down fairly easy. It will grow back. For the time being, this won't be reproducing. And I like that. This is winged euonymus, probably the most dominant invasive out here. Originally imported from Japan in the 1860s as an ornamental plant, it's sometimes referred to as burning bush for its red leaves in the fall. It's easily identifiable by the wings, which makes it very easy for me to come and find them and chop them down. If you look up here, you can see an entire grove of it. All of that junk plant that's taking up space that could be natives. If you chop these things down, they will grow back, but we've been finding that the deer eat the shoots. So, once they're cut down, they can't seed. So that's a good thing. This is a good plant. It's called a spice bush. It's one of the only native brush that we have out here. It's got speckled bark down here. In the fall, the leaves are very yellow. Many of them have an invasive vine growing up around it and choking it, preventing it from doing as well as we'd like. This vine here is called Japanese honeysuckle. And the more of it we rip out, the better. Unchoking the plant. Now that I've cut down most of the winged euonymus in this section, what we've got left with a lot of the brush is spice bush. Plants are a bit like a supermarket where products compete for shelf space. Out here, the plants compete for sunlight. And when you cut down the winged euonymus, which is eating up sunlight, the spice bush gets more sunlight and can grow better. To help identify the good plants from the bad plants, we brought in Steve Hiltner. And along the way, we'll be multitasking, as the area that we're clearing of invasive brush is slated to become a scenic trail. One thing about, about this brush down here. You know, it's, you know, the stuff that grows up.
There you go.
It's
Wow.
Yeah, see,
Cool.
that's the way to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, winged euonymus, and then I break it in two. This isn't going to and now it's done, you know?
Right.
It's not going to shoot up again. You know, the kind of brush we've got here, a lot of this, I guess, is small trees. Are they going to, you know, because, you know, it's not like a meadow where they've got direct sunlight. Are these going to be able to grow up to be big trees, or?
Well, that depends on the deer. I mean, it'd be nice to think that the deer are going to come through and just eat the sprouts of the euonymus. If you cut some down to the stumps,
yeah,
those will sprout in the spring, and then hopefully the deer would just come through and
take care of that
and eat the young shoots.
Now, what about the plants? You know, I got to get a hold of some privet around here. What I think is privet. You know,
you've seen privet hereabouts?
Well, yeah, you know, there's a lot of
seepage slope,
a big, you know, it's got various sizes, and it smells like privet to me. It's got these little tiny, almost blue-black berries.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's privet.
Yeah, and there's lots of it.
Clusters. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Clusters of berries.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, little berries. Yeah, that's privet.
And my question to you is, you know, I can cut all that stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
Is it, you know, ecologically smart to do that? You know, it's an invasive, but, you know, is there any reason not to?
I don't think there's any reason to try to allow it to prosper at all.
Yeah.
So, but if you cut it down, it's just going to come back up with many more tinier stems.
Yeah. I mean,
which you then have to cut down again. I haven't seen deer eating that stuff, so
yeah.
I don't know. That stuff we might have to spray, or somebody would have to spray with.
Yeah. See, I don't mind, because this is like a really scenic area here.
Yeah.
That I really, you know, I'm really a lot of the work I'm doing here, it's about the vista.
Yeah.
Along with just removing the invasives for the sake of the ecology.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm willing to come and trim. You know, and like the more of the bad brush that I cut down, the better the vista is going to be.
Okay.
The more you can see it in the warmer months when there's more greenery.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, so I'm willing to sort of maintain it. You know, where if you know if the privet grows back up, I'll just chop it back down again. You know, so that people can see this stuff.
Right. Well, did you want to take a look at some shrubs, or
Sure.
Where are we headed?
Oh, this way.
Okay.
Across from the cottage, you know, with all that, basically a garden of multiflora.
Yeah.
I basically cut all of those things, and then I'm gonna take a rake, take them away.
Yeah.
Go in again, cut them some more, take another rake, drag them away.
They made. Well,
and then I'm gonna take a shovel.
Okay.
And see if I can shovel the roots out.
Yeah, I'm lazier than that.
I'm not.
I think the deer are going to just keep nibbling them down. That's what happened in front of the house.
Deer go after the multiflora?
Yeah, if it's young.
Okay.
Yeah, because on a volunteer day with the Rotary, we cut down some big multiflora rose right in front of the house, and we didn't treat it or anything, and left it, and the deer that was in last spring, and the deer just kept it down all summer.
Huh. Because one of the things I've been doing is, you know, and it's a hassle to do it, and that's where I started wearing the safety glasses, because I kept getting this thwack right back near my face.
Yeah.
You know, just cutting the multiflora rows, and that stuff is, you know, of course, you know, barbed wire. And I was thinking, okay, would deer ever even go near that stuff? You know, I mean, it's just too nasty to get near.
When it's young, the thorns aren't very well developed.
Yeah, but see, like when we cut it, you know, it's still got like the bad thorns all around it. I like to get as low as I can on this stuff so that it's got the least chance to grow.
Oh, yeah. You want to, you know, actually, that's one thing we did do is we cleared all the cut stems away from the stumps so that the deer could access it.
Okay. Well, so then my theory of
I guess that's a good point.
Raking away the big barbs will be worthwhile.
That's a big privet there.
Yeah.
Huh.
And all this in here.
Yeah, I mean, privet is usually found in lowlands, so I guess it's all the seepage on this slope that's allowing them to grow here.
It likes water, you're saying?
They like wet soil, so There must be a lot of seepage on this slope. Okay, here we go. Oh, and then this is a big privet. Huh.
That's privet in there?
Right here.
Yeah. See, that was just confused me. Some of these privets are like kind of the tree tops.
Yeah.
Now this from the bark is one of the good ones.
Yes, yes. That's probably Black Hall viburnum.
And it's
But
got
you want to cut off the vines, though.
yeah, any vine like that is bad.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the light bark and there's a bit of fibrousness to it. Well, I guess you see, a wild grape would have more orangey, kind of an orange bark. That's tan. Huh. One of these not very good loppers. Oops. Oh, you got that. All right. That'll
That's
take
going
a
to take
shovel.
us off.
Yep. Right.
But see, that was what's confusing me. You see, this is big, you know.
You know what you could do is just cut the higher stems and then.
Oh yeah. Well, see, what I do, you know, it's because it's Vista. You know, I get this cut down and drag it away, and
Yeah.
that's one of our pits down there where we just okay, let's put it all in one place, and then cut it down. And by cutting it down, it'll rot quicker, and then it's not, you know, if you leave stuff high, it's disturbing the Vista.
Yes. That's where it's all going.
Yeah, yeah. I got various pits around here.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You know, around that area there, you just find these pockets and pockets of winged euonymus.
Hmm.
But you know, when we drag this stuff away, this is all going to look so much better. You know, it's like unveiled. Yeah, I'm going to take this guy out.
Yeah. And you see, it's crawling all over this. Looks like a Black Hall viburnum. So that'll be good to get rid of.
I have to learn how to say that. That's a Black Hall viburnum.
That's a Black Hall viburnum.
See, previously I'd known only the names of 3 plants. You know, there, big, medium, and small.
Yeah.
The same with birds. There's
Yeah.
3 kinds of birds: big, medium, small.
Right. Well, that's
Get this later.
2 more than most people.
Okay, this one you're okay with?
Well, check out the ends of the stems. Just see what's there.
We got some green. Is this possibly a spice bush?
Well, look at those little balls there. that
Yeah.
are tight to the stem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are the flower buds.
Okay. And that's a spice bush.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And does it have speckled bark down lower?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Speckled bark buds equals spice bush.
Yep.
Normally, you know, like in the warmer weather, are there leaves like that yellow, or is it just the fall where they have the very distinctive yellow leaves?
Oh, in the fall, the spice bush do have, and oftentimes they turn half yellow, half green. You know, some of the leaves are yellow, some are green, so you have this kind of mottled look as they're changing. Not all the leaves change yellow at the same time. So you'll have this kind of mottled look to the spice bush.
Okay.
So, you know, it's a matter of getting to know the plant in the winter, in the spring, summer, fall, all its different looks. Well, it's nice to see the buildings down there.
Yeah.
In terms of
that's
landmark.
One of the neat things about the winter that you know you have no idea the stuff's there, and all of a sudden it's only that far away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can see not just the cottage, but you know the Zeppelin house from a lot of this.
Right. Yeah.
Got it.
Here I am. I'm the helper.
Well, I mean, you take this thing out. You know, if you got from over there, and I'll be pruning back some of the stuff in there.
Right.
the idea is, you know, this thing, especially with the brush for, you know, taken off of the rocks there,
Yeah.
that you can see these things.
Yeah. Now we're going to encounter a lot of this linden viburnum.
Yeah,
So
this is linden.
probably
this smells like the same thing, right?
if you cut all the like multiflora rose and winguanus, you know, we're down to the natives and then this linden viburnum. That's another linden.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I say, great. You know,
Yeah.
because you know the vista it gets a lot better.
Right. And then these you can tell what those are.
This is privet.
Ah!
This right here. No.
What have we got?
No, it's not. No, oh, spice bush. Yep.
But it has this.
Right, and we don't want that.
Right.
This is like a big grove of spice bush in here.
Yes.
It's got some bad.
Yeah, well, if you look at Woodfield Reservation, places like that, they can have big patches of spice bush to the point where you think, this is kind of a monoculture. But I guess it works.
Steve,
I haven't seen a grow a little, you know.
what is that red fuzzy thing, and is it invasive?
Oh, that is wineberry, which is an Asian cane, like Asian, sort of like a raspberry, but it's from Asia. It's called wineberry. It has tasty berries if it's in the sun. You know.
So it's an invasive, but it's not necessarily a bad invasive.
Well, I haven't seen enough of it to be, you know, if you look, you'll probably, yeah, you'll actually see quite a bit of it down there. But you could pull it out and, you know, knowing that it's exotic, and it has been called invasive before. It's not a big problem in Princeton, but you can pull it out if you want. So, otherwise, you know,
With all the stuff to focus on out
Yeah,
here, you know,
there's
the
other-
stuff that is marginal is kind of like, you know,
Right.
screw it.
yeah,
Looks like you got some
leave it for later.
linden viburnum here.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of it here.
This is very productive to be identifying this stuff because, you know, and that's linden.
Yep.
Great. 'Cause that was right next to the damn cliff. And, you know, I don't want to take it out if it's a good one, but I'm real happy to take it out if it's a bad.
I'm relieving you of a lot of guilt here.
Well, it's not guilt, it's ignorance. Bang. This is a spice bush.
Yep.
How do you like that? Is this more linden up here?
Whoa. Hey. I would think so.
Yeah,
Here. That's what it looks like.
Wow. Yeah, that's linden.
Oh.
Very productive.
Oh. What I need new boots. I have zero tread on these boots. And here is a winguanus. Maybe it's already cut.
No, this is
that's
stuff
cut.
that I've already cut that I'm going to drag out of here.
Yeah.
You know,
And
it might seem, you know, micro anal retentive to be dragging all this stuff away, but yeah, unless I do
I know
that,
it's just gonna look. It's gonna
it's
look
just going to
messy.
look stupid.
It's gonna look messy for years.
Right, for years.
Yeah.
And the part of the whole point
That's,
is people come out and enjoy this stuff.
Yeah. The brush doesn't go
This
away.
junk shouldn't have been here in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So put it in a little pit over there.
Oh, this is a nice view.
I mean, there's a question about, you know, can we import, you know, native brush into this area? You know, given that you've got some wetness.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just, you know, because we cut all this stuff down, but, you know, what's going to grow back? And you know, is it a
Yeah.
good spot to get natives going?
I mean, maybe it's just that anything you plant, then you have to follow up. So you're going to be like a bucket brigade during the
Right.
droughts.
That equals too much work.
And if you leave them to just like you have some black viburnum, you have some spice bush. They're going to seed in. They're going to.
Okay. They're already here.
You know, seeds land everywhere, and then some get lucky with just the right conditions, and they'll grow.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing.
The fact that we've got some good ones, black hawk viburnum, etc.,
yeah,
spice bush, you know, they're already here to seed, so we'll just rely on that.
right. And it'd be great to get some native euonymus growing here. Maybe we could arrange that, but the deer would eat that. So.
Yeah, unless you were really carefully cultivating it.
Yeah, and you know, I think it'll be interesting to see how the deer react here. I mean, they may just cruise along here and just nibble on all the new sprouts of the exotics. I mean, that's what we wish for.
I tell you, in the snowfall, you know, you can tell what critters are coming through,
Uh-huh.
and they definitely come through here.
Yeah,
I mean, you can see their hooves and their, you know, their,
Yeah.
their defecations.
right. They're following you. They come in afterwards.
No,
and think,
they're around. They're around.
Yeah.
I mean, they get, you know, they're kind of like
Yeah.
goats. I mean, they'll climb through this
Uh-huh,
stuff. I mean,
yeah.
they're not shy about going right through these rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they're eating. I mean, when you see what would they eat in the winter anyway? I mean, is there any there's no greenery out here.
That's a good question. I mean, they like. They're probably eating the rhododendrons over at the Veblen house.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
I mean, what are the, like, turtles?
Evergreen trees. That's why suburban landscapes are so good for deer, because there's a lot of evergreens in the winter.
Okay, so they're going over toward the housing developments.
Yeah, maybe.
If you get over here and I push here.
Yeah.
Now, I say this is, you know, this is a nice big rock.
That's a little later in our master plan. Is
Yeah.
move boulders to improve symmetry.
Well, what a nice face of this rock here we're gonna have
Yeah.
when I clear this stuff away.
Yeah. Nice. You know, the snow melt and the moss.
Yeah.
It's quite a sight. The moss is very happy with all that snow melt dripping down on it.
As you can see along here, that's the big cliff
Yeah.
that we first spotted.
Okay.
That's the 30-foot drop.
Right.
But, you know, it goes to show like how much cliff was, you know, big rock overhang we got here. I mean, it you know, once you unveil it.
Yeah. Oh, we're surrounded by multiflora rose.
Yeah, we can go back up there and go over the rocks to get there, or
Uh-huh.
however you want.
Oh, so you want to go over there?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, look at that. That's high too, isn't it?
That's the
That's-
cliff. That's the initial
Oh, that's
cliff.
the cliff.
Yeah.
Well, what have we been working? I thought
See,
we were
there's
working
a lot
around the
more
cliff.
to the cliff, you know.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
I mean, we've got that one big point there, and that's the 30-foot drop. You know,
Yeah.
that's the most, you know, that's the best of the cliffs.
Yeah,
But we've got
yeah.
a number of these things right along here. They're you know, big rocks, and you got this steep drop.
Yeah. I think I'll go. Now you see this. You see this pattern here? With these little gnarled leaves.
Uh-huh.
That's the disease.
Oh,
That's the rose rosette disease.
some disease we like.
Yeah. So that's good that it's moving into this pattern.
I'm hoping with the multiflora rose that I'm cutting, that when you cut it down, the disease
Oh,
can get in there easier
that the-
when it's trying to grow back up.
right, and also your blades may be the blade of your loppers may be spreading it.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's a thought too.
Contamination.
Yeah.
Wow. This is nasty in here. Okay, if you get the central stems, then it's good.
So yeah, the nice jacket I have on is oops, thank you. Yeah, that's dangerous.
Okay.
The best thing is just to stay still and then
These things are like, there's recoil that you can't anticipate.
Right, yeah, there's
This is why I
such a
had to start wearing the
tangle
safety glasses.
that you don't know what's attached to what.
And it's also, like, I wear the same junky clothes out here,
Uh-huh.
but you can see in the back where, like, things are it's getting ripped up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And see, it's just as well that I'm doing this stuff in the winter, because I don't feel like wearing 3 layers, 5 layers in the summer.
Yeah.
This is what we first got excited about the other summer. We found this thing. Didn't know it was here. About 30-foot drop.
Oh, yeah. Not bad.
The winter vista, I mean, you can just see for so much further.
Yeah.
And when you're coming up from down there, and we've got the snow on the ground, you know, the camera can't really pick it up, but boy, there's a lot of elevation going on here. I mean, it rises, the ground.
Yeah. I saw this owl once just fly all the way, just glide all the way across the woods. That was a nice view.
It was what kind of owl?
Probably the great horn. There's a great horn that we hear.
Not a little screech guy. You know,
No, it was big.
a pterodactyl.
Yeah. Oh, this is nice.